Landscapers thought a dead body on the front lawn was actually a Halloween prop. M&M's is going to deliver free candy for Halloween if you happen to run out. And a private school has just employed an AI robot as principal head teacher. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet in Los Angeles. I got some weird news for you guys, as I always do, Monday through Friday. Let's go. Landscapers thought a dead body was actually a Halloween prop. The dead body of a North Carolina man was ignored for several days, sadly, because the dead man was actually mistaken for a Halloween decoration. Earlier this month, police found the body of 34-year-old Robert Owens. He was lying face down in the grass near his home in China Grove. Whoa, China Grove! But it turned out that a landscaper had encountered the body a day earlier and, rather than report it as a dead body, assumed it was a Halloween prop and mowed the grass around the body of Robert Owens, who lives in China Grove. Whoa, China Grove! The groundskeeper was interviewed by the authorities and says he saw the body as he was mowing the lawn on the property, but believed it was, quote, a fake dummy used for training. I'm not sure what he means by a fake dummy used for training. What sort of training? Fight training? I think they have fight dummies. But I'm surprised that he didn't say he thought this was a Halloween prop, because I can see someone being fooled by that. I mean, there's a lot of strange things on people's lawns in the month of October. A lot of zombie bodies, a lot of just, they just put stuff on the ground, body parts. We've seen it all. And it looks authentic these days. The Halloween decorations have become very sophisticated and very realistic looking, in my opinion. So I wouldn't fault the groundskeeper for confusing it for a Halloween prop. Although a little weird if it's the only Halloween prop on the lawn, just one body. If there's no gravestones around, that would lead me to sort of investigate a little further. This all seems so strange. I think the groundskeeper's kind of an idiot. A construction worker on the property has his wits about him because he reported the body to the police the very next day. That's how you do it, construction worker. The construction worker probably wasn't even working on the lawn and just saw the body and, just is a reasonable individual. The landscaper's mowing around the body and doesn't check it out at all. I mean, seems very odd to me. Now, the family, of course, is heartbroken. They do not know the cause of death. It's pending an autopsy. The family is very upset that the brother's body wasn't reported sooner. The body was exposed for so long that the family sadly won't be able to have an open casket memorial for him. The family actually suspects that there is some foul play involved. He was found in front of an abandoned home near his grandmother's house. It's a property they say he had never been to before. So now I'm wondering, why are landscapers mowing the lawn at an abandoned home? There are a lot of questions here. None of this really makes sense to me. But then again, I don't know what goes on in China Grove. Whoa, China Grove! M&M's will deliver free candy if you run out this Halloween. All right, we got another Halloween story for this episode of Weird AF News. This one not as morbid as the previous one. It involves one of my favorite candies, M&M's, and it's a candy I don't believe was banned in California. I covered a recent candy ban in a previous episode this week. Check that out. The article says, there's only one thing scarier than ghosts and goblins on Halloween. And you know what that is. It's running out of candy, specifically Halloween candy. Yes, this is true. You don't want to run out of candy on Halloween, especially if you're in the trick-or-treat business. If you're allowing trick-or-treaters to come to your home, you can't run out of candy. You got to be stocked. You got to be stocked with more candy than you can handle. If you run out of candy halfway through the trick-or-treat hour, you know what's going to happen. The kids are going to come back and egg your house, man. That's what I did. You run out of candy on my trick-or-treat mission. I'm coming back. There's going to be toilet paper on your house, man. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that stuff. Maybe. It says here you can scratch this fear of running out of candy off your list this year. Thanks to M&M's new Halloween Rescue Squad. Ooh, they got a Halloween Rescue Squad. I want to work for the Halloween Rescue Squad, just deliver candy. I mean, everyone will be happy to see me. The Halloween Rescue Squad is delivering free candy to those who run out. How does this work? Can you really get free candy? Whether you end up with more trick-or-treaters than you bargained for, or accidentally ate all of the candy bowl yourself, the Halloween Rescue Squad will be deploying at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Halloween, October 31st, to fans across the country in need of a candy bowl refresh. So for those of you who may have miscalculated the number of ghoulish guests that are coming to your Halloween party, maybe you dipped into the candy stash a little early, huh? We've all been guilty of that. Or maybe you just underestimated the number of trick-or-treaters out there because, you thought people weren't having babies anymore. You can call on the Halloween Rescue Squad. Go to the website mmshalloweenrescuesquad.com to call on the M&M's Halloween Rescue Squad to the rescue. We have a quote from Tim, who's the sales chief at Mars Wrigley. Also, he's the Halloween officer. Oh, it's a pretty cool title, being the Halloween officer at Mars Wrigley. Does he show up in a costume every day? Here's a quote from Tim. The Halloween season is expanding, and enthusiasm is driving consumers to shop earlier and more frequently. As the authority on Halloween, we plan for the season years in advance to ensure we satisfy shoppers' needs. From our first ever M&M's Halloween Rescue Squad to new product innovations, we're doing everything we can to inspire more moments of everyday happiness this ghoulish season. Yeah, I'm not sure Tim talks like Count Dracula, but in my mind, that was a perfect impression of Tim, who's the chief Halloween officer over there. How long have you been working there, Tim? I've been working here for 1, 2, 3 Halloweens. Yay! Want to create a podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn a little bit of money, all in one place too, for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. You record and edit on your phone or your computer. You send it to Spotify, and everywhere podcasts can be heard. They even have video podcasting options. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions as well. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. A private school has hired an AI chatbot as its head teacher. It's a new principal head teacher at a leading private boarding school, and it's an artificial intelligence robot named Abigail Bailey. Her digital image gives the impression of a well-presented and smart professional. And we have here a human headmaster of the school, which is located in West Sussex, who believes that this AI chatbot will play a very important role. This private prep school has worked with an AI developer to create the chat robot to support the headmaster in his duties. Miss Bailey, the robot headmaster, will give advice on issues ranging from supporting fellow staff members to helping students with ADHD and writing school policies as well. Oh, you don't want the robot writing school policies, man. That's not what you want. No. The robot doesn't write school policies, man. I'm warning you. You can't shift the balance of power in any way towards AI robots. Not right now, this early in the stage, man. Not until we can figure out if we can trust these damn things. Yeah, you don't want to get this. Sorry, Dave. I can't do that, Dave. Not around kids, you don't. That's my opinion. Let's keep reading. The technology is said to work in a similar way to ChatGPT, the online AI service where users type questions which are answered by the chatbot's algorithms. This particular AI robot principal has been developed to have a wealth of knowledge in machine learning and educational management with the ability to analyze vast amounts of data. We have here a quote from Mr. Rogerson, who is the headmaster at the private school. He told the media, quote, "Well, sometimes having someone or something there to help you is a very calming influence, I tell you. It's nice to think that someone who is unbelievably well-trained is there to help you make difficult decisions. It doesn't mean you don't ever also seek counsel from humans. Of course you do. It's just very calming and reassuring knowing that you don't have to call anybody up. You don't have to bother someone. You don't have to wait around for any answers. Being a school leader, a headmaster, is a very lonely job. Of course, we have head teachers groups, but just having somebody or something on tap that can help you in this lonely place is very reassuring. Wow, so turns out they got this robot on board because the guy's lonely. That doesn't seem like the right reason to have a robot AI assistant. Yeah. Well, I need somebody to talk to. I'm in my office all day all alone. Why not have a robot around? Okay, Mr. Rogerson. All right, what do the parents think of this that are paying £32,000 a year? Is it pounds? Pounds, baby, pounds. Mr. Rogerson is not helping the human race. It says here he strongly believes that pupils need to learn how to collaborate with the AI, which he describes as very important technology. I think Mr. Rogerson has been created by AI, to be honest with you. This guy's really carrying water for AI robots a little too much, it seems. And around the kids, this is a concern. Rogerson says despite the digital appointment of this headmaster, robots will not be replacing the human teachers. Not yet, anyways. Well, they're integrating these AI robots into all sorts of things. I covered a story about an AI pastor that was in a church. There are actually several of them. Maybe this is just an experimental phase to see to what length we can integrate the AI robots into our everyday lives. I would imagine eventually every child will probably have an AI robot at home to do their homework for them. So I'm not sure this is all problem-solving behavior in the end. AI assistants, though, could be pretty helpful. I have availed myself of some of the AI software that's been available to help me with my podcast, to help me with my social media, help me with editing video and doing research and whatnot. When you start making them in charge of things, though, and allowing them to make policy, this is where I think we got to draw the line. Because eventually they'll be making policy to make the humans their slaves, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just being paranoid here. What do you guys think? Call the show, 646-450-2012. I would specifically love to hear from parents that have children in school and what they think of this. Maybe some of you are already encountering this in your world with your child. And what are you doing about this? What are you doing about the homework that has clearly been done by a robot? Let me tell you about my new sponsor, Magic Mind. You guys know caffeine fuels me. It fuels my podcast. I drink lots of coffee. Sometimes I want to mix it up, though. I can't be drinking 5 cups a day like I used to. I got the acid reflux, and sometimes I just run out of creamer. I have another source of caffeine, though, Magic Mind. It's a green elixir that gives me energy and increased focus. It's actually healthy. Instead of cups and cups and cups of coffee, I get this little green shot as a coffee alternative, and it keeps my energy going without the jitters and without that pesky acid reflux. This delicious little green shot has some healthy ingredients in it as well, including matcha tea, vitamins B and C, and some other stuff. For my listeners like me who are coffee addicts, want a healthy alternative that helps you cut back on the coffee intake, well, try Magic Mind. I have an offer for my listeners. If you go to magicmind.co/weirdaf, use my code WeirdAF20, you'll get 20% off a one-time purchase or a subscription. Go to magicmind.co/weirdaf and use my code WeirdAF20 and give Magic Mind a shot. Yay! Hello, my friends. Thanks for spending some time with me, Jonesy, and the Weird AF News podcast. I appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to someone who left me a very nice comment on Spotify. You can write a response to some of my episodes. Actually, all of the episodes on Spotify you can write a response to. And we have one here a couple days ago from, the username is JuddAdamsX. JUDDADAMSX. I don't know how you say that, but the message is so sweet. It says, I love you, Jonesy. I am 12 years old. I know I'm young, but I start my morning with a laugh because of your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Isn't that adorable? I have a 12-year-old listening to the show, writing me a nice little pleasant comment, complimenting me on the show. Good luck with your life as well, Judd. I'll just call you Judd. I had no idea I had such young listeners. I didn't realize this podcast had any appeal to anybody under the age of 18, but apparently I got some listeners. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful that you took the time to write a nice, positive comment as well. So thank you so much, Judd. I appreciate it. I hope you'll continue to keep listening to Weird AF News into your old age, if I live that long. Okay, so this was the Thursday episode. You guys know what's going on. Tomorrow's Friday. Going to do the Florida Friday episode, so feel free to email me any Florida weird news from this week. My email's funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also send links to me on Instagram. Just slide them into my DMs at funnyjones. That's how you can get them to me. So send those Florida stories over, and we'll try to create the best Florida Friday episode that we can. You guys want to support the show? You can do so by going to my official website, weirdafnews.com, where you can buy Jonesy a coffee or join the Patreon. You can also get a subscription to Magic Mind. I'll put a link in the description of this podcast and give that a try. That's also another way to support the show. Or you could tell a friend about Weird AF News. That's amazing, and it doesn't cost a damn thing. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Won't keep you. Hope you're having a great day, or you had one, or you're about to have one, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Florida Friday episode, and good luck with your life, man!
Hey, Jonesy, it's Lily. I am really overdue on leaving a message to thank you for the cameo that you did for me. It was so amazing, Jonesy, just so perfectly spot on and exactly what I needed. And that quote you gave from Terrence McKenna, I loved it so much. It's preposterous that you should worry. Who do you think you are that you should worry? Like, you don't know the future. Stop worrying. I'm paraphrasing. You did a great job, though, with the quote and explaining it. And that really stuck with me. That meant a lot to me. I typed out the quote, and I put it on some nice pretty paper and some pretty little pictures and graphics, and I printed it and hung it up in my classroom for me and all my students to look at. So that's how much I liked the quote that you gave for me, Jonesy. So thank you. That was amazing. Yeah, the cameo you did for me was just exactly what I needed. Things are still rough. I'm not going to lie. It sucks. I'm going through a really hard time right now, but I'm still listening to the show. I don't call and email you as much as I used to, just because I don't have the energy, man. I'm worn out. I'm worn out, but I'm still listening. I try to listen every day or as much as I can. So keep up the show. Keep doing the great work that you do. I really like there was like a little ditty on the Florida Friday, a recent episode, like some girl singing about a song about yay, it's Florida Friday. So I love that little ditty. I still love alligators everywhere. And Jonesy, what I really miss is the old introduction you used to do. That was the introduction about Florida, and I hear it in my head, but now I can't say any of the words out loud because I hear it in my brain, but I can't form the words of it. But you know what I'm talking about, where it's Florida, Florida man, that clip that you played. So throw that in a Florida Friday episode for a throwback, some good times. And I do remember when you would hold for helicopter in your old apartment. That was great. I'm glad you've upgraded to the closet. Stay in the closet, man. Keep making the show. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man.
I'm just responding to the survey you put out about 2 years ago. You wanted to know if we would rather spend an evening in a hot tub with 4 iguanas or R. Kelly. And gosh, dude, I'm sure you know the answer to that. I mean, R. Kelly's going to do that pee on you thing that he does so well, but the iguanas already have all their stuff in there. Typically, they're using the Suzy 4s, the bathroom. Oh, yeah, that's a tough choice. It's a tough choice.
Jonesy, 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 boop bop boop bop, biddle up boop bop, dip boo, biddly doop bop bow, bow, bow. Do a little scat man for the funny man. Hey, it's Naughty Moon here in Columbus. Christy, you sweetie, that was really nice to buy Jonesy a coffee and then one on my behalf. You're a real sweetie. And I have lovely news. I am able to get out of a not so great situation and get into a really great situation as far as my housing goes. It's, positivity, a lot of nerves, a lot of, oh dear God, please, Jesus, you're my boyfriend, can't you help me? That kind of stuff. And, I'm on a roll. Well, and one of the reasons is, I found some White Claw in my refrigerator, and but it does say on the can right here, Ruby Grapefruit, White Claw, spiked sparkling water. Now, I was way against White Claw until I really tried it, because I was a Mike's Harder lemonade girl. Too much sugar. Now, I do like the White Claw seltzer, and they do make something like called White Claw Shazam or something like that has 8% alcohol by volume. But just for a general celebration on a Friday night, 2 of them, and I'm a lightweight nowadays. So, but that lady, she deserves her job back. Come on, we need to start a petition and request that Elaine, I believe is her name, in New York. Yes.
Hey, Jonesy, it's Michael calling from Iowa City. In regards to the story about the Amish men that were shunned because they had cell phones, I wanted to address that because I live very close to Amish communities here in Iowa City. The city of Kelowna is about 15 miles away, and the Amana colonies are about a half an hour away. And they will frequently come into the hospital for medical treatment, where I worked there at the University of Iowa for 30 years. And working in the laboratory, they would come in and have their blood drawn, and I would see them in the clinics as well when I was working in the clinics. So I do have knowledge of their communities and of their practices. And what they do is they're very, very religious, and they live their lives based on religious principles, and they shun anything that is flashy, anything that is modern. And so what they'll do is they won't wear wedding rings. They won't wear belts because of flashy buckle on belts. They hold their clothes up, the men with their pants with suspenders that are held with buttons. Their pants are button fly, no belt loops, obviously, because they're not wearing belts. And all of their clothes are hand sewn by the women. The men only wear shirts that are very light muted colors like blue, gray. Recently they've added a jade green color that I've seen probably in the last 20 years. And there's a process known as rumspringa, where when the children get to a certain age, past adolescence, about 18 or so, they're allowed to go out into the world and experience the forbidden things that they've had with these tight, restrictions during their youth, and they're able to go out into, the real modern world and experience all of the sinful things of standard culture and decide whether they want to commit to the Amish community and come back. But they're allowed to go out into the world and have sex and cell phones and rock and roll and drugs and everything else if they want to. And at that time, they can choose to leave the Amish community and if not, come back to it. But at that point in time, they're baptized and expected to hold to the rules of the community, but they're not baptized until they're adults, somewhere between 18 and 21. And at that point in time, you've got to hold tight to the restrictions. So those men, they probably were past the age of 21 and had cell phones when they were not allowed. So a shunning usually lasts about 6 weeks, but if the infraction is bad enough, you can be shunned for life. For the typical, bad sins in the Bible, murder, adultery, etc., that would result in a lifetime shunning.